Hello friends, here I am with a case study of Aircel. Here in this video, we will talk about how Aircel has implemented a better way of implementing information technology in its organization. The telecommunication industry in India stood at 2,346 billion in June 2014. This represented the combined income of more than a dozen firms that provided wired and wireless phones services across India. This is a highly competitive industry where firms had to compete against each other to gain market share. Also, they had to ensure that they constantly sought and enlisted new subscribers in new markets. Aircel was one of the telecommunication firms that provided wired and wireless or mobile services to many consumers. Since the late 2000s, Aircel had added many services to its portfolio, including 2G and 3G services, broadband, wireless access, long-term evolution that is called LTE, also known as 4G, and also value-added services such as virtual private network. Aircel had driven this innovation in services and product offering by forming partnerships with both for accessing capital and also for accessing new technologies. As Aircel grew its customer base across many geographic regions, it felt the need to consolidate its data centers. Aircel had grown in a decentralized manner, where the friend circles had their own databases, their own database applications and data centers. Since each data center maintained its own policies, there was no common policy through which data could be accessed and maintained. Further, consolidation to a common data center would help create redundant capacity that could help with its expansion plans. A common data center entails creating a massive computing and data storage facility that can host petabytes of data and also respond to millions of data transactions per day. Whenever any of the millions of customers of Aircel made a phone call, the wireless network switched the call to the destination location to enable the connection and data about the call, when it was made, to whom it was made, from where, for what duration etc. were recorded. Thus, each call created a record that was stored in a database. The data center stored and processed all the transaction data, keeping track of each customer plan, such as the voice and the data contract with the customer, the transaction cost, the usage levels and other information that went into creating the bill that the customer had to pay. Data centers had to operate in real time to record and track all the transactions and had to ensure that they remained available 24/7 every day of the year. Data centers are important facilities for the telecommunication firms as their entire business rests on them. A typical data center will have thousands of items of networking equipment, storage disks, digital displays, CPUs, racks, cables. The equipment is closely arranged in rows and stacks to conserve space and to have convenient cable connections between them. Such dense arrangements count the room to heat up as there are many servers and computers located together. The electric consumption of such centers is massive after compared to the electricity consumption of a small city. Electricity is used for both running the computing equipment as well as for air conditioners and coolers. The electricity supply has to be reliable with adequate backup available if any of the power sources fail. Data centers are often designed so to conform to international standards. One set of standards is provided by Uptime Institute of USA, of United States of America. This institute rates data centers from Tier 1 to Tier 4. These ratings availability of uptime guarantees for the center. For instance, Tier 4 centers guarantee 99.95 uptime, thus stating that they will not be available for only 26 minutes in a year. Higher rating attract customers who want guarantee of availability at higher prices. Higher rating also means that the data centers have to ensure backup power is adequately available, which uses higher energy. At a rough estimate, about 60% of data centers' energy requirement are for cooling. It was thus imperative that Aircel designs and constructs the data center in a manner that would reduce its energy cost and also help it create an image of being socially responsible. Aircel adopted a number of measures to reduce its energy consumption, and some of these we will talk about. At the data center, Aircel built an innovative earth-air tunnel system to provide cool air for air conditioning units, which is needed to control the temperature within the server room that tend to heat up. This system consists of 4 60-meter pipes buried about 5 meters below the ground, through which air is pulled out for cooling the air conditioning units. Since the temperature below the ground is invariably cooler than the air temperature at the cool air reduces both the water and electricity needed to cool the room. Since the data center was located in Gurgaon, where the surface temperature during the summer could have around 40 degrees centigrade and sometimes exceeds 45 degrees, the contrast of 26 degrees centigrade for the air in the EAT system helped greatly. The building to host the 50,000 square foot data center was designed to have rainwater harvesting. Rainwater was directed from the roof to underground. Since the Gurgaon region receives over 500 mm of rainfall every year, the rainwater harvesting system could receive about 500 kiloliters of water. This water was then used as cooling system that also helped to reduce the air conditioning load on the center. The designers also used light emitting diode in LEDs lighting to reduce the energy consumption further. Such lighting uses less energy than filament based lamps or compact lamps. In short, we call it that CFL. So they use light emitting diode to produce the same amount of visible light. Further, sensors were built in the building that would enable the lights to be switched on only when there were people present in the room or a particular region. The design also included solar water heaters on the roof of the building to ensure that energy for heating water was also kept to minimum. Once completed, the data center allowed Aircel to rapidly deploy its services to its various regions. According to the CIO at the time, Ravinder Jain, they enabled 8 circles to start using the data center services in less than 2 months. They relied on a service-oriented architecture concept where the peripheral region could access services from the central data center on as needed basis. These services were used over digital networks. Aircel was also able to reduce the total carbon emission from its centers by 400 tons per year. In addition, owing to the rainwater harvesting, it was also able to save 500 kiloliters of water and recharge groundwater. For these acts, Aircel won recognition and awards for its Green IT initiative. It also created a highly efficient and scalable data center that it planned to replicate in other regions to meet its growing market demand. So friends, by this video we can learn how companies can go through Green IT initiatives for their profits and also profits for the society. For next video, we will talk about some different case study.